Hi Flosstube, this is Tina Fraser coming to you with another quick update on Saturday, September 16th at about 10:20 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, it's been a busy couple of days since I finished my 24-year-old work in progress. Yeah, it's been kind of busy, work's kind of hectic, and I really haven't had a lot of time to stitch, but I am working on a baby blanket for a friend of mine who is having her baby shower next weekend. For some reason, I had thought that I saw it a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't really working on it like I should have, and wasn't really working on it, and then yesterday I kind of realized, oh my goodness, I have less than a week to finish. But anyway, I kind of wanted to show you. Let me pull my thing out, my crochet hook out and put it aside. But I am working on a fleece, just adding crochet edge to a fleece blanket. You can't really see the colors real well, but it's kind of a mint green and dark gray. The yarn is Red Heart Super Saver. Red Heart Super Saver. The color is minty. So the minty color, the minty yarn, matches the green baby words on here. I haven't 100% decided if I'm going to add a row of dark gray, but as you can see, this is my crochet project. I have a blade. Some of you will probably ask how I crochet onto the fleece blanket, but I have this thing that fits on my rotary cutter called a skip stitch, and as you can see these holes that are in it, the skip stitch blade works like the normal rotary cutter blade, except instead of cutting all the way across, it has little notches in it, so it just makes little holes evenly spaced all the way across your fabric. So use it just like you would your typical rotary cutter blade, except it just makes the holes in your fabric that you can crochet through. I put the holes about an inch in from the edge of the fabric, and so when I crochet along the edge, you can see that the fabric, let me get this in here, right? The fabric typically folds over on itself. I don't know if you can see that right in there, but the fabric typically folds over on itself when you do this. Sorry, I have to get in, figure out, yeah. So, and it kind of makes a nice little edge. It's great. I kind of really like working with this stuff. And it's a little quicker than crocheting an entire blanket. Frankly, I've been working on this. I just got started this last weekend at the in-laws house for the Sternwheeler Festival, because I figured this would be easier to work on than a big stitching project with 30 or 40 people coming in and out of the house. But I didn't realize that the baby shower was coming up so quickly. So anyway, if you happen to be watching, you know what's coming up, but I don't know that you necessarily are watching this just yet. But anyway, if you are, well, I hope you like it anyway, and you'll get to see it when you open up your gift on Sunday. But anyway, so this is for a friend of ours, and yeah, that's about it. Friday I ended up, sorry, my nose is itching. Friday I ended up at one of my local craft stores. I believe I started off at Joann's. Joann's didn't have anything that I was specifically looking for. And then I went to Michael's after dinner with my husband, and I kind of found some things to work with. One of the Flosstubers that I've been watching, Calico, she had a video, one of her videos, she talked about, sorry, I have the cuticles are a little dry, and I have a little bit of a hangnail. It's kind of bothering me. Don't mind me. I'll probably get distracted from it occasionally. Anyway, so she had this video where she made this little traveling bead work surface type thing using a little tacky bead mat that she'd found online, and a gift card tin where she took the bead mat, cut it to size, put it in the bottom of the tin, and she can dump some beads in there, and the tacky mat will hold on to the beads, and she can travel with it, and it ended up really well. Well, I was working with the beading on the bunnies, on Thursday night, sitting here using my little containers. You've seen my little bead containers. I'll get one out for you. These little things that are in my little storage trays. These work great and everything, but when you open it up, you know, the lid doesn't open all the way. It kind of, you know, pops back down just by the nature of the plastic. And, you know, while this is really handy, trying to get a bunch of beads out of this and work, you know, a bead at a time and stick your needle in and try and get the bead. It's a little difficult trying to get the beads from here onto your needle so you can actually bead your project with them. So I took her advice, did a little searching online, and found the bead mats. But I wanted to check around to see if I could, you know, get one and make one quicker. So I found the bead mat at Michael's finally. It's the Beadsmith. This is the brand that she got too, but hers is a kind of a bluish color. Hers is kind of a bluish color. This is what the bead mat I got looks like. It's the sticky bead mat. Here's a bigger picture of it right there. Has the Beadsmith. The whole thing is sticky. The whole surface is sticky, and it's kind of a rubbery, like a clear rubbery thing, and it's stretchy, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the bead mat is stretchy, so you know, you could cut it to size. So I got the bead mat, and while I was at Michael's, they have these wonderful little photo boxes like this. This is a 5x8 photo box, little hinged. You know, you could put craft supplies in it, everything like that. You know, opens up. I have one of these that I use for my crochet hooks because I also crochet, as you know. I don't have a crochet one out anywhere to show you, but I use one of these for my crochet hooks and crochet hook supplies because it could travel. But anyway, I got the bead mat, and I cut the one edge of it off. And I stuck it in here. You can kind of see it here. I left the plastic film on it to keep it kind of clean, but anyway, it's tacky. It's a tacky bead mat. So I'm hoping that with this, you know, I can put some beads loose on the mat, and they'll stay in place. And the nice thing is these little containers fit right in here too, so I can close it up. Take all my bead colors with me, have my loose beads in here. I also plan on getting a little magnet and attaching a little magnet somewhere on the lid on the inside here, with E6000 probably, to hold my beading needles. I might actually stick a package of beading needles in here, so I always have beading needles with my bead work surface. But the other thing is, I think this bead work surface is big enough that it'll give me enough room to get in there and really work with the beads and get the beads to get on my hook a little quicker. And the bead mat is tacky. I don't know if you can see this. It's tacky on both sides, so it's just kind of stuck in here. But anyway, so this is my traveling bead work surface that I've come up with. The box was $2. The bead mat was $6.99. The box was $1.99. It might have been $2.99. I think the 5x7 is $1.99. I think this one is $2.99. The 5x8, or the 4x6. The 4x6, the 5x8. I believe this is 5x8. Anyway, so I got this at Michael's. All in all, this was $8 or $9. Traveling work surface that'll fit these little bead containers in here. Works just great, I hope. One of the things that I read online is that this tacky bead mat, the beading needles, because they're so sharp, they will gouge it every so often, so you'll probably end up getting gouged work surfaces. But the nice thing is, if the tacky bead surface becomes dirty, it says on the packaging that To use, remove the plastic cover. The plastic backing should be left on in place to keep the base clean. Replace top cover when not in use. That's why I left the top part on. Transparency enables you to view your components on various background colors. Non-adhesive, no sticky residue. Measures, the bead mat measures 7.5 by 5.5 or 19 by 14 centimeters, and it's what does it say? When the mat starts to gather dust or debris, simply rinse it with water and let it air dry, and it will refresh and become sticky again. So it's water cleanable. All you do is just get it wet, let it, get it wet, get the stuff off of it, let it dry, and it'll get tacky again. So haven't had a chance to test that out, haven't needed to, haven't used this yet. So this is brand new to me. It's gonna be able to allow me to carry my beads for a project that I'm beading with me anywhere I need to go. And hopefully this will help keep beads from going everywhere. I have a funny story about one of my old finishes about beading during a cookout in the backyard and spending a couple hours sorting through grass and looking on concrete for white beads because I only needed 10 to finish the project, and I wasn't going to go buy a whole nother pack just for 10 beads. I have a funny story about that to tell you at another time, but anyway, so that's that. So also, while I was there, I have heard stories of several people making their own needle minders, and I'm like, well, I have some stuff I could probably make some needle minders with, but Calico had also mentioned that she used a gift tin to make her little bead travel surface with. So when I was at Michael's, I also picked up this gift card tin that says Ready Set Craft. I figured this was better than the other ones that they had. The only other ones they had said congratulations, happy birthday, thanks. So this was the only one that I found that said Ready Set Craft. I figured this was pretty good. It's quite a large. It's bigger than an Altoids tin. It has a separate lid. But anyway, I had well, I was at Hobby Lobby tonight. My husband and I went there just on a whim. They had these beads, and I thought these beads were real pretty. It was on those string of beads. Let me see if I can find the thing, the label. No, I'm sorry, I can't find the label off the beads, but it was on their strings that were hanging up there, and it looks like that. It's a flat bead, kind of a flat glass bead. Has the same design on both sides. Kind of a really pretty rainbow swirl. I have quite a few of them. I think I have about 10. Whoops, they just fell everywhere. And I also bought these heavy-duty magnets. These are those rare earth magnets. I had the package out. Guess I threw it back. These are the magnets that I bought. The craft magnets. There's 6 of them, and there's a foam thing in here with the magnets embedded into them, because these are the more heavy-duty magnets, and these are kind of what they look like. There's 2 of them on here, and you can see it's really, really difficult to get apart. And when they go back apart, they snap pretty quickly back together. They're real strong magnets. But anyway, I just used some E6000 glue to glue them onto the back. And now I have a new needle minder. Looking forward to doing this. Since I have about 5 or 8, quite a few of these beads left. If any of you would be interested in any, just let me know. We can work something out. I'll need to get more magnets, but I can work something out. This is really cute. It's a new needle minder that I came up with. It's real quick and easy. I don't know how long it'll take the E6000 to set up, but it's probably been on here about an hour, and it's not budging. But just so you can see, it sticks pretty well to my scissors. So, yeah. Anyway, so here's a new needle minder. And I had an old needle minder of mine that kind of broke apart at one point. And it was really pretty. They cut out fabric dots and glued the fabric dots onto the magnet. Here's the one magnet. It's quite a bit bigger. It's probably about the size of a quarter, I would say, this magnet. But, you know, so it had the base on it. And the fabric that they glued on each end, also there was also some of those ribbon. It was ribbon. Sorry, there was some ribbon that they had glued up underneath the fabric to kind of hold the two pieces together. So in case, you know, the two pieces came apart, there was ribbon you could dangle it on. Well, I pulled the ribbon off of it because I lost one of the fabric discs that was covering it, so it was no longer a pretty little needle minder. And I had these little autumn leaf buttons. I don't know if you can see these real well, but these little autumn leaf buttons in various colors, a red, an orange, a yellow, and a green. So I used I used the same E6000. Oh, now my little seed beads are coming up. I used the same E6000 glue and glued some of the autumn leaves on, and some red, brown, orange, and white seed beads just to kind of cover some of the spaces. It's not exactly the prettiest little thing, but now I have a little autumn needle minder that I can use. So, little autumn needle minder. I have more of these buttons, these autumn buttons too. So, you know, maybe I'll go back and see if I can find some of these quarter-size magnets to use. But anyway, there you have it. So I have two new needle minders, and this Ready Set Craft case I will be using to store my needle minders, I think. So you have this one here. This one here is the one I just showed you with the rainbow thing. It's stuck on the side pretty well. And then this is the autumn one that I just showed you. And then, of course, here on the side, these two magnets right here. These two magnets right here, or there's 4 magnets actually, two pairs. These are the other heavy-duty magnets that I bought tonight at Michael's. So I'm probably going to get more things to make some needle minders out of. So if anybody's interested, you know, they're pretty easy to make. And they're really not that expensive either. I mean, you can make them. I really like these rainbow ones. So if anybody's really interested in those, just let me know. I can probably make you some and send you one out. All right. And then, but this is my storage. This is going to be my storage solution for the needle minders that I make. Just be wary, though, that because of the force of the magnet, you don't want these near your cell phone, you don't want these near your laptop, you don't want these near your tablets, you don't want these near anything electrical that, you know, like cell phones or anything like that, because these will ruin them. And these will probably also demagnetize your credit cards, I'm guessing. So, because the magnets in these are pretty strong, especially these, you know, the one like in my rainbow dot, my swirly rainbow. These little magnets there are real strong. So, anyway, I digress. All right, so one other thing I wanted to kind of talk to you about tonight is the, oh, I'm at 19 minutes. That's pretty cool. At my local needle workshop, about a year ago, I went in there. It's been, you know, I've been going there on and off until fairly recently when I joined the Wednesday night stitch group that they have there. And when I was there last year, I had picked up this lotion bar, the shea butter lotion bar. My hands get really dry in the winter because I shower every night, and you know, in the wintertime I take hotter showers, and it just naturally dries your hands out. And you know, usually when I go to bed I slather on lotion and use it on my face too, because I don't really have a facial skincare regimen like quite a few people have, and like I really should. So Jergens lotion goes on my face as well as my hands at night. But while I was at my local needle workshop last year, I picked up a Lavishay lotion bar. And I picked it up in the scent of pear. So I've had this lotion bar for a little bit. I'm going to open it up. So basically you twist open the thing and the lid pops out. So you have this little lotion bar. Doesn't look like much, you know. It's kind of soft. I really love the pear. The pear is really good, and that's why I bought it. But anyway, so this is a shea butter lotion bar. You know, if you can, you take it out of the package to put it in your hands, rub it around a little bit. The heat from your hands kind of sort of softens it, and you moisturize your hands that way. But usually what I do is I just rub my hands on it, rub it in somehow. Rub my hands on it, rub it in. Put it in the other hand, rub this hand on it, rub it in. You know, do stuff like that. And it's really nice. It's really nice and soft. Really like this stuff a lot. So when I showed up for the first Wednesday night stitch group a couple weeks ago, my local needle workshop still sells these. Thank goodness they still sell these. These are made in Colorado, by the way. Made in Colorado. Oop, turn it upside down. Made in Colorado. And you can get them at www.lavishay.com. Check your local needle workshop, though. Support them. Check your local yarn shops, too, because a lot of knitters and crocheters will use these. I need to go to the yarn store that's a couple doors down from a needle workshop, because they might actually have the yarn bar by Lavishay, which is an almond scented one. I would kind of like to get my hands on that. But my local cross stitch store has several scents. Pear is one of them. Pear is really good. I was looking for something that was kind of a little more autumn scented. So while I was there the first Wednesday a couple weeks ago, I found Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin. This is a really good autumn scent. It's the same type of thing, you know, you undo it, you know, you got your lotion in there, you rub your fingers in it, you can either take it out or, you know, anyway you get it on your hands and you rub it in, and it smells wonderful. It's made with shea butter. It's really nice. I really recommend these things. But I really like them a lot. It's the Lavishay lotion bars. I used to use, well, I still do. I can't say used to. I used to use, several years ago, my cross stitch store started to carry Stitcher's lotion, which is non-greasy hydrating cream with aloe vera. This one happens to be cinnamon stick. This is the first or second one I bought several years ago. They come in different sizes. This is the larger size. This is the 4-ounce size, 118 mils. This is a 4-ounce size. They make them in a smaller size. I think it's like a 3-ounce size, or maybe even a 2.5-ounce size. I don't know. But I also picked up last year Blackberry Vanilla. I've had this one for a little while. I like this lotion a lot too. I really prefer the Lavishay bars, lotion bars, over this right now, because the Lavishay bars seem to be a little more rich, and I don't know, these go on really nice, and they're really lightweight. I will show you. You can see, really light lotion. I mean, it's not really dense, and it goes on pretty wet. It looks pretty wet, but it dries real well when you get your hands in it. You know, it looks wet, but it's non-greasy. This Blackberry Vanilla is really, really nice, but so is the cinnamon stick. But this tends to just, it doesn't seem to sit on the skin as long as the shea butter does, the lotion bar. And I found myself using this several times during my stitching sessions, as opposed to like maybe just using this when I first start. So to me, this, while it's good and moisturizing and it's non-greasy and it won't stain your fabrics and your projects, it doesn't seem to be as rich as this does. And I think this one will work better in the winter. This might be a nice summer stitching lotion, where this would be a really good winter stitching lotion. Or, you know, combination of the two. But Lavishe lotion bars, highly recommend them. You can get them online. Get them at your local needlework shop or yarn shop if you can. Support local businesses. My husband and I are all about supporting local businesses, so do it that way. But anyway, there you go. Stitcher's lotion, Lavishe lotion bars. Personally, I prefer the Lavishe lotion bars, but both very good products. All right, last little snippet I wanted to talk to you about. Over the years, I had, or several years ago, not long after my husband and I met, I took on a job as a data entry person for Nationwide Insurance. Big insurance company, probably known at least all over America, if not all over the world. And being a data entry person, of course, I was typing a lot, which meant a lot of repetitive stress on my wrists and fingers. And so I developed some mild carpal tunnel. I mean, it's not debilitatingly painful, but if I do a lot of typing at work, a lot of writing, and then a lot of stitching, which I've been picking my stitching back up lately, which I haven't been really doing much of in the last 6 months to a year, it means that my carpal tunnel is acting up a little bit. And I used to have those craft gloves that, you know, you'd put them on and they'd have the cuff right here, and then they'd cut off across this knuckle, and then, you know, your fingers would be free, and then, you know, they'd offer a little compression and a little warmth right in here for your wrists. Well, I went looking for those a couple weeks ago because my carpal tunnel was bothering me, and I'd picked up my stitching again and was working on Santa of the Forest using my scroll frame. I'll show you work in progress on that probably for another video. But my wrists were bothering me after a day or two because I was also typing a lot at work. We're a little behind and we're doing audits, and that's a lot of typing and a lot of clicking and a lot of mouse movement. So of course my wrists were getting a little unhappy. I mean, it wasn't like debilitating, it's just kind of a dull constant ache. And it, you know, it starts usually right across here through here, and then most of it is like right here. Like right now I have a little bit of pain right here in this joint, and it's mostly like because of the carpal tunnel. But like, you know, I do finger exercises and, you know, back and forth like that and around, and, you know, that helps out a lot. But anyway, so I was looking for craft gloves, couldn't find some. So I wandered into Joann's, and I wandered over to the quilting section of the fabric area, you know, where they have the quilt mats, the cutting mats, and, you know, a lot of the quilt supplies like the quilt hoops and the beads and the chalk markers and the markers and everything like that. And I found these craft gloves, and I decided to give them a try. These are Creative Comfort, Crafter's Comfort gloves. And you can see here that they're kind of a brown color, and the tips of your fingers are exposed, but they have individual finger holes. So I'd never used these before. And this comes in a pair. This is a full pair. It says 1 pair down here. And it also gives you the sizing chart on the side of the box. So I looked at the sizing chart, and I put my hand up there like it suggests to measure across these knuckles here, and it says I need a medium. So I pulled out a medium, went to pull it on my hand, and I'm like, oh my goodness. This is made from breathable, stretchy cotton spandex fabric. Provides mild compression and delivers all-day comfort. Ideal for support during crafting, quilting, sewing, knitting, gardening, and office work. Easy care, hand wash, cold, air dry. So it's a cotton spandex fabric. So I tried on the medium. I tried on one of the mediums on my right hand because I'm right-handed, and my right-handed is a little bigger. So I tried on that, and it was just tight. It felt kind of tight. So then I just pulled on the large, and this is what I went with. So I will show you kind of what they look like. So, you know, they're kind of big. This is the large. So your hand goes through. It stretches just a little bit. This is what they look like. Okay. So you can see, you know, fingers stretchy. And the fabric is stretchy. Let me tug on it. The fabric is stretchy. It's really nice. It's nice soft cotton, and it's dark brown, so it's not going to show any grime much. Although you should probably wash it. I don't know how often, but you should probably wash it at least a couple times. And yeah, it goes down pretty far above down below the wrist. So that's the left one. I'll go ahead and put on the right one too. The thing I like about these is that the fingers are covered. You know, I think during the winter, it's going to help my fingers to keep from getting so cold. And I might even be able to stitch in colder places now because I have something to keep my fingers warm. But that's what it looks like. The thing I like about these is that if I need more of my finger exposed, I can just shrink these down, you know. I can shrink these down. Expose more of my fingers. You know, haven't really found that these are comfortable to wear crocheting though, because I like to feel the you know, I usually wrap the yarn around these fingers and then crochet this to keep the tension going. And with these on, I can't really feel the yarn right, so I can't wear these crocheting yet. But anyway, I really like these craft gloves. Again, these are Creative Comfort. Crafter's Comfort gloves, and they come in a pair. Look just like this. They're really nice, really soft, cotton stretching, and they're really nice. So that's what I have for you today. I'm sorry it's not interesting. I'm sorry I don't have any more works in progress. Oh, one thing I wanted to show you. Alright, so I'll get on to that a little bit later, and I will talk to you soon. This is about 32 minutes, so I will let you go. Thanks, and have a nice night. Thank you for listening. Talk to you soon.